Many stories, novels, and movies talk about the end of the world. But what if there was a story that suggests we already destroyed our own society, as if we actually ended the world? Not because of a virus, zombies, or some strange phenomenon, but simply because of our own laziness and stupidity. I know. There were countless videos, articles, and discussions saying the world is becoming faster, dumber, and more superficial. They warn you to wake up before your mind slowly deteriorates. Sometimes it feels exaggerated, but at the same time, more and more, it feels true. There's a novel published in 1953, an incredibly unique one that predicted many of the things we're experiencing today. The author imagined a future where people become mentally passive, addicted to screens, unable to think deeply or form independent opinions, and even worse than that. All of these ideas are explored in Fahrenheit 451. We all know firefighters as heroes, the people who run into burning buildings to save lives. When I was younger, I actually wanted to become one. But imagine a dark dystopian future where firefighters don't extinguish fires, they start them. That's the central idea of the story. In this world, the government exercises extreme control. Books are completely banned. The worst crime you can commit is owning a book, even just one. If you're caught, firefighters are sent to burn not only the books, but your entire house. Nothing is spared. And in the end, you're arrested too. All of this because books make people think, and thinking leads to disagreement, sadness, depression, and rebellion. The story begins with the protagonist, Guy Montag. We see him burning a house with fire, almost like he's performing music. He enjoys it, completely carefree. He wears a helmet marked 451, the temperature at which books burn. At one point, he even imagines roasting marshmallows over the flames, enjoying the moment. On his way home, he sometimes feels like someone is watching him from the shadows. Then he meets a young girl, beautiful, calm, and different. He assumes she's his new neighbor. She replies, without even smiling, "And you must be a firefighter." He's surprised she recognized him so easily. She says it's obvious. He jokes that it must be the smell of kerosene. His wife always complains it never goes away. She answers seriously, yes, it never does. Her name is Clarice. She introduces herself and walks with him. She's 17 years old and openly admits she's crazy, or at least that's what her uncle tells her to say. She loves walking at night, smelling things, watching the sunrise, and observing nature. To Montag, her words sound strange, almost unsettling. She tells him she's not afraid of him. He's confused. Why would she be? She explains that many people are afraid of firefighters. Then she says something shocking. Firefighters didn't always burn houses. They used to put out fires. Here we begin to understand. Montag is deeply conditioned, while Clarice is aware and thoughtful. She asks him a simple but powerful question. Don't you ever think? To Montag, the idea itself feels unfamiliar. She talks about how people now drive so fast they can't even recognize grass or flowers. Life moves so quickly that no one has time to notice anything or think. She even tells him about her uncle. Montag begins to notice how strange everything is. People no longer talk to each other. Everyone is absorbed in screens. When he gets home, the house feels lifeless. His wife lies in bed, wearing earpieces, constantly consuming noise, cut off from reality. One night, he finds her unconscious, She has overdosed on sleeping pills. Emergency workers arrive, but they treat it casually, almost mechanically. It happens so often that it's routine. They use machines to clean her stomach and replace her blood. They don't even seem like doctors anymore, just technicians. Montag grows increasingly disturbed. He can't stop thinking about Clarice, how alive she felt compared to everyone else. Meanwhile, society is obsessed with speed, entertainment, and distraction. Schools no longer encourage thinking. History is altered. No one asks questions. Violence is everywhere. Young people are reckless. Death is common. But Clarice is different. She observes, listens, reflects. She tells him something deeply unsettling. People don't actually talk about anything meaningful anymore. Everyone repeats the same opinions. No one has original thoughts. Then, suddenly, Clarice disappears. Later, Montag learns the truth. She died in a car accident. The news shakes him deeply. At work, Montag begins to question everything. His captain explains how society reached this point. Books weren't banned by force at first. People themselves abandoned them. They preferred comfort, speed, and simplicity. As society grew, more opinions emerged, and people became sensitive to differences. To avoid conflict, ideas were simplified. Books became shallow. Eventually, people stopped reading altogether. Only then did the system step in and ban books completely. Firefighters were given a new role: to destroy them. Montag secretly begins collecting books. He later meets an old man who explains a crucial idea. Books themselves are not magical. The real value lies in the ideas they contain. He tells Montag 3 essential things. Books contain depth and meaning about life. You need time to think about what you read. You must act on what you learn. Montag's transformation accelerates. His wife eventually betrays him and reports him. Firefighters arrive, this time to burn his own house. His captain forces him to do it himself. Something breaks inside him, and he kills his captain. Montag becomes a fugitive, hunted by the authorities and a mechanical hound. Eventually, he escapes the city and finds a group of intellectuals living in hiding. These people preserve knowledge by memorizing books, each one becoming a living book. In the end, war breaks out and destroys the city completely. Montag watches as everything collapses. He joins the group, hoping to help rebuild a new society, one based on knowledge, awareness, and understanding. The novel closes with a powerful message. Society doesn't always collapse because of external disasters. Sometimes it collapses from within, through laziness, ignorance, and the loss of critical thinking. Personally, I think the novel has brilliant ideas. Yes, sometimes it feels exaggerated, but it was written over 70 years ago, and it predicted many aspects of our modern world. That said, I'm not a big fan of the author's writing style. It can be overly descriptive and slow at times. Some parts feel stretched unnecessarily. But overall, it's still a fascinating and important work, especially in how it warns us about fast-paced life, screen addiction, and shallow content.